guys, Layna here. Welcome back to my channel. This channel is all about my recovery from anorexia. Today's video is actually requested on my Instagram. It is a video about how to stop calorie counting. I'm just giving you guys little tips, little tricks, and sort of like a run through about some ways that you can stop calorie counting. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay guys, so I feel like this video is a really good video to do because I feel like a lot of times it's just you get stuck in the motions of calorie counting and it's so hard to get out. It becomes addictive and it feels like you need to, and really honestly you do not need to track your calories. It's actually very harmful for you and destructive for your mentality and just your mental health. So yeah, so I came up with a few little ways that you can stop calorie counting, things that helped me, things that I've heard help other people, just a bit of a compilation here. Hope you guys don't mind. I really need to be drinking more water, so I'm just gonna be drinking throughout this video. The first thing that really helped me was to start like throwing in a little something more to what you like. For me, I was stuck in eating the same thing over and over again, and so I would throw in a little something different, or throw in, just like, let's say I was sprinkling some cheese on a quesadilla, I would put more cheese so that I did not know exactly how many calories was in it, so that I could stop breaking the cycle of needing to know. This is very hard, for at least it was for me. It can feel so hard, but at the same time it is one of the best things for you, because it starts to slowly undo that mindset of needing to know, and just not knowing really helps. And it's important not to compensate for it later. Like, don't do anything less later. Don't feel like you can't eat something later because you added more. It's important to have that in addition, and do not compensate, do not restrict, to just do it. And as the more you do it, it helps to destroy that mindset of needing to know exactly how many calories are in something. The next one is in my recovery, I was on a meal plan, and only now am I learning to intuitive eat and maybe, just have more fluidity and step away from that meal plan. But it really helps to start having something in addition to the meal plan, and to venture outside the meal plan, and so that you don't know exactly how many calories you're eating that day, because it's easy to check an app. It is easy to just log into that app and check, and that honestly is and log, and it's very harmful and damaging. So it's very important that, like, when you add this thing in addition to your day, that is not bad at all. It is actually very good for you, because it will help create a mindset of not needing to know how many calories and everything. And what I encourage you to do is do not log it. Do not log it. We are trying to step away from logging, and I'm going to be talking about how to step away from logging later on in this video. So, yeah. The next thing is definitely talking about logging. So, start by not logging things. So you can slowly start to step away from logging by, let's just say you have your meal plan and you're about to eat your snack and you feel the need to log it. Try your hardest not to, because as you step backwards from that, may just start out as not putting that snack into that app, because when you're stuck in the motions of logging on an app, it's really hard to get out. I struggled with and battled with the app for so long, and the only way I was able to really step away from the app was doing it one by one, and being like, okay, I'm not going to log this, I'm not going to log this, or I'm not going to log this whole day, I'm not going to do that. And so then after you, like, if you need to start out with just be like, oh, I'm not going to log this snack, oh, I'm not going to log this, but I'm still going to eat it, but I'm not going to log it, and just taking that little step there. And then the next, start going a day without logging. Don't log that day. Don't log this day. Go a week without logging. Start to go longer periods of time without logging, and then logging becomes obsolete and you don't need it anymore. It may take a while, and yes, and then after you start to, step back from the logging, you can delete the app. And one thing I want to address is, I know how tempting and how easy it is to re-download that app. I completely understand. I understand. But I had slip-ups. I would re-download it, and but as the longer you go without that app, the easier it gets. It becomes easier. And then the next thing is you may even if you don't have that app in your life anymore, sometimes your brain has been trained to calorie count. And this is where it gets really tricky because it's a mental calorie calculator. And for me, the mental calorie calculator is one of the hardest things to start to destroy. It is so hard to untrain the brain. It is incredibly hard. I myself am still struggling with it. It's something that I am slowly over time learning. And it's okay to take your time with this. It's not an overnight thing. Stopping counting calories is not an overnight thing. It's not just one day you're gonna wake up and you're not gonna want to count calories anymore. It doesn't work like that. And it's really hard to resist the temptations and the urges. But when I definitely want to talk a little bit more about mental calorie calculating. So on the topic of mental calorie calculating, one way that I resist when I notice that mental calorie calculator is kicking in, and like when I look at something, I try to be like, okay, how many calories does that have? So what I try to do is I do in my brain, I just snap out of it. I'd be like, nope, we're gonna think about something else. So we start thinking about rainbows, we start thinking about ponies, we start thinking about anything else than how many calories are in that thing. And one way you can start to not know, and it will start to if you don't know, right, let yourself know how much is in there. And that's what really helps, is when you start to step back from knowing. When you don't know exactly how much is in there, it starts to help. That is the main thing that I can recommend, is just not knowing. So put another scoop of ice cream in there, put another scoop of yogurt in there, put another scoop of peanut butter in there, put another XYZ. Not knowing is the most helpful. And on the topic of calorie counting, food skills. Food skills must go. In order to really stop that calorie counting thing, you can't know how many calories are in it, right? That's what helps, for me at least. You gotta ditch the food scale. If you're the kind of person that can just slowly back off of it, that's great. But for me, what it took is just throwing out the food scale altogether and throwing it in the trash can. That's what I had to do. And then that's when I stopped having the ability to know how many calories are in there. And taking away that knowledge of how many calories are in it helps the calorie counter start to disappear. And definitely working on those steps to get rid of that app helps. So let me recap on those so that you guys can see them again. So start by putting something in addition. Let's say you're on a meal plan, and everybody's meal plans are different. It just varies. Have something in addition to your meal plan so that you don't know how many calories it is, right? And it's important. I can't stress this enough. I'm not saying to eat less than the meal plan. That is the wrong kind of thing. We want to have something in addition so it's not feeding the eating disorder. And I know it's hard, trust me. I can remember those days where I was just crying and crying because of calories and calorie calculating. But also another thing that I can say is that you should just sit down and try to think through your feelings. Do you really want to be living forever counting calories? For me, my answer was no. I did not want to have that torture and that restriction for the rest of my life because I wanted to be able to live. So identifying the feelings and identifying what you want and differentiating yourself from the eating disorder. The eating disorder wants you to count calories. The real you does not. So just separating those feelings can really help because you can see what your goal is, and it can knowing what your goal is can help you achieve great things, right? Start by not logging something. Let's just say you're on your app and you're logging, and just don't log one of the things and still eat it, but don't log it so that you don't know how many calories. Do not weigh the food out, and comment down below if you want me to do a video about how to stop weighing food out if you are one of the people that does weigh food. If you are one of the people that can just go cold turkey off of the calorie app, that's fantastic. But this video is kind of just talking about ways for people, because I myself couldn't just go cold turkey. I had to take slow steps back. If you are like that, and you need to take slow steps back, this video is definitely for you. So yeah. Then start to go not logging a full day, not logging a full day, not logging a full 2 days, not logging a full 3 days. Just keep increasing the time that you don't log, and slowly the app will become, you won't need it as much, and then you can delete the app and get the app out. And as I said, this is not an overnight thing. It might take a little while, but as you just work at it, it will get easier. The longer you can go without that app, the less you will feel the need for it. And it's really important that on those hard days, when you feel extremely tempted to calculate and log, you can go to someone and be like, hey, this is what I'm struggling with. I'm struggling to resist this app. I'm struggling to resist the mental calorie calculator. Can you please talk to me and distract me? Or can we please go out and do something to distract me? The main thing is distractions. When you can feel that mental calorie calculator, when you can feel that temptation, distractions. I can't stress it enough. Distractions really help. If you can't distract yourself, recruit someone else's help that you trust to distract you. I know that it is very hard to try not to calculate it, but if you let someone and make them aware of your situation, they can help see when you are struggling with these things and help you, right? One other thing on the thing of calorie calculating is when you don't let yourself know how many calories are in something. So if you don't, for me, I had a lot of memorization and I knew a lot of things, how many calories were in packaged things like a granola bar. But one thing I definitely recommend is trying new things, right? So if you try a new granola bar, make sure that you can maybe go with someone else shopping and they cannot let you see that nutrition label. Not looking at the nutrition labels is a definite thing that will help you stop with the calorie counting. Not knowing how many calories are in something, have someone black out the nutrition label, and a lot of this will be definitely willpower, because you have to make that choice yourself to not Google it, to not download that app again. It's a very hard thing because it's a temptation, it's an addiction. But in the end, you have to make that choice to do your best to resist. And yes, you might slip up a few times, but it's important to get back on that horse and never let yourself stay off. Just keep trying. It's okay to feel it's okay to be scared. This is a quote that I kind of created. It's okay to be scared, but don't let that stop you from blank. Don't let that stop you from recovering. Don't let that stop you from keeping trying. Don't let that stop you from achieving your goals. Just fill in that blank. I can successfully say that I have defeated the app, the temptation for the app. I still have a bit of that mental calorie calculator thing going on, and it's a daily battle. But it's important to remember that you're not alone in this battle. You're not alone. I hope these tips and tricks helped you guys. Let me know if you guys want me to do a part 2 to this. I can share some more, but I hope these really helped you, and please feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram if you have any questions, if you need any more tips, tricks, if you guys just need support, anything. I am at a stage in my recovery where I just really want to give you guys as much help as I can, and so if you need any advice, need any tips, tricks, support, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Here is my TikTok. I don't ever really get on there, but I'll put it in there anyway. Please reach out to me on Instagram as well if you want to be added to our eating disorder support group Discord. It is a place to give advice, a place to talk about your feelings. It is a safe environment. I oversee the chat, and I make sure that it is healthy chat and not triggering for anyone. We make sure that it is a good environment. So yeah. I hope you guys have a great day. Remember that you are not alone. Remember you got this, and that in the end, our goal is to destroy the eating disorder. And just remember that you are loved, and that you got this, and that you are always valid. Have a great day, guys, and keep kicking eating disorder butt. Bye.